Topper here, and you've signed into Wearable on Air. And we have a special guest today. Her name is Lyssa Neel, and she's with a company called Linkitz, which she's going to tell us all about this new friendship bracelet that she's developed and is marketing. And it's specifically for young women, young girls, I guess. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Lyssa. Welcome to the show, Lyssa.
Oh, thanks, and thanks so much for having me on.
So tell me a little bit about your new product and the benefits that it has for young women and girls.
Yes, I'm happy to. So Linkitz is a make your own wearable kit for girls. So there are other wearables for kids. Linkitz is different in that it lets kids, and specifically girls who we're targeting this first product to make their own wearable, to decide what functions they want to put into it and then actually assemble it. And if they like, they can even program it to customize it in their favorite color or to recognize their best friend. So it is really designed to introduce very young girls, and we're targeting 4 to 7, to hands-on making technology. It's small components. They're about the size of a button, and there's a core that is programmable, and you plug the components into the core to make the various different toys. We have a speaker, a microphone, a little radio that we call the Friend Link, and also a motion detector and LEDs. And when you think about it, you can actually make a large number of different toys with this. We first started, we were really interested, or I was really interested when I started the company. I myself am a computer scientist, and I love tech. To me, it's like solving fun problems all day long. And I was trying to figure out why girls don't go into tech more. And so when I started reading the literature, I found out it's that even though very young, like elementary school age girls, they like science as much as boys, they do as well in science and math as boys do. By the time they get to middle school, they already think that a scientist is a man, that technology is not something that girls do. And a lot of the studies have pointed to the lack of technology toys that are specifically designed to speak to girls. Now, that doesn't mean that a girl can't play with a robot or a rocket kit that, you know, is non-gendered or even marketed to boys. They could certainly buy them and play with them. But I think that there's a feeling of being the other, you know, and so I really wanted a toy that spoke to the way that I've seen my own daughters and their friends play. And one of the things they really love to do is hand clapping games, probably dating myself, but girls still do that. And so we originally thought doing something that would be fun to play. You could build something and then it could like clap along with your hand clapping game, and then you could do it remotely, you know. And you can do that with the motion and the LED link, but when you added in the Friend Link, all of a sudden you could light up in your team colors. You could know when your friends are nearby and light up to celebrate your friendship. You could, if you program it into your team colors and put on the motion sensor, then like every time you kick the soccer ball, it could light up in your team colors. So it enhances all kinds of things that girls today do, and it lets them choose and actually build it. And it's just that really important hands-on manipulative learning that is so important for younger children especially. And there really is nothing like that for girls. And girls are really good with their hands. If you've seen little girls, they love to do beading. They have excellent fine motor skills. So there's no reason why, you know, they shouldn't be encouraged to go into this.
What's the actual age group that you're targeting? And also, have you been selling products? And if so, what type of feedback are you getting from these young girls?
So the age group that we're targeting is 4 to 7, just because it's very underserved. There's, like I said, nothing like this for, you know, specifically for young girls. We have tested it extensively with girls. That's how we, you know, developed the design and found out what it is that they like to do. We had a Kickstarter campaign, which is a crowdfunding campaign. We sold about 1,000 units, which is great. We surpassed our goal, and we're going into production. So those will be delivered in time for the winter holidays. And then we will start selling them more broadly.
Awesome. And do you have any idea of where they would be marketed? You know, what stores would they, are you, targeting? Are you targeting specific stores like, Target or, Walmart or that type? Or is it going to be more like retail, smaller stores?
We are not closing our mind to any retail partners. Getting into a large retail store, it has different price points. It has different considerations for a startup toy company. There's also online sales. Amazon just opened up a toy, kind of a smart toy section. We'd love to get into there. So we're not closing off anything.
Awesome. So tell me, how did you come about developing this product? I mean, you said that you were a scientist. Maybe we should go back and tell us a little bit about your background and how you actually even came up with this idea.
Yeah, sure. So I was always interested in trains. I'm a real geek. But yeah, I loved electric trains. And then in high school, I was good in math. I took all the AP courses, and but I went to MIT. I was in the computer science department. There was a class of about 1,500. There were about 4 women at the time. It's better now. But I really, really loved it. I loved it so much. I stayed. I got my Ph.D. there, and then I went to work, and like I said, to me, this was always just so much fun. It was solving problems. It was creating things. But you just couldn't miss the fact that there are very few women. So like I said, I started just a few years ago. I started to think about why, and instead of saying just why, what could I do personally? Because I had done, scientist in the school, and I was a Girl Scout leader, and I tried to do little tech projects with my troops. But what could I do, like in a larger sense, to get more girls interested? And why it's really important, I think, is first of all, I mean, nobody can miss that technology is such a vital and growing part of everything we do. And when you only let one kind of person design those things, then you're missing the input, the feedback, the ideas that come. And it's not just from women, it's from people of other ethnicities or other backgrounds. So I think just, diversity in invention is a very good idea. And so we should encourage more girls to go into it. And also just because the jobs are great. So why not encourage your daughters to go into a field that has, growth potential, and, and then finally, it's fun, and so there's all those good reasons. But so people were already starting to do things. I mean, there's wonderful things, Girls Who Code and Black Girls Code, lots of efforts. But to me, they were starting too late. Because, like I said, by the time girls got to middle school, studies show they already have decided that tech and engineering isn't a girl thing. So that's why I really wanted to start with the very youngest girls when they're in, K through 3, and give them a toy that they could manipulate, that they could relate to, that they feel is their own. And like we originally started with these game gloves, but then we realized that, and those were supposed to be something that you assembled and then you could play with. But then we realized that since you were assembling them, we could add different components, just like you add beads to your Pandora bracelet. You could add different technical components to your Linkitz bracelet and make it do all kinds of different things. That was sort of when the light bulb moment for us happened. And from that, we went and applied for a patent on that idea, and then started to develop it.
So I just got a question from our listening audience. She says that she wanted to know that if you marketed this to teenagers, how it would be beneficial to a teenager, even though you're marketing it right now to the younger girls, and how, if it were you to receive this, how would you think that this would have changed who you are right now?
If I had received it,
yeah,
I was already quite into programming, so I don't know that it would have changed me very much, but I think that for other girls, it would give them a chance to do some programming, which they might not have otherwise been interested to do. There actually is a toy out there that is marketed specifically to teenagers. It's called Jewel Bots. We targeted a younger age group, like I said, because we felt you really have to capture girls earlier, and then they can move on to, there's many toys out there, not toys actually, once you get to be 11, kids don't really play with toys anymore. Kids can do Blockly, they can do Scratch, that hopscotch. Those all are follow-ons for a little bit older children.
Yeah, my next question after that was, after I had gotten the question from our listeners, was they get into this, they love the bracelet, they're coding a little bit. Now they move out of that. Where would they go from there? I love that you're capturing them early. We represent a child care center, and they're doing work with STEM with these preschoolers. So it's, it would be like the next logical step for them. But where do they go from there?
Oh, there are a lot of great toys that are designed for kids just a little bit older. The 4 to 7s are developmentally, the thing about them is you can't reliably expect them to read. They can read, simple words that they know. When you look at programming, and even so-called visual programming languages, they're difficult for a child because it's unusual words. They're often laid out. If you've ever seen, Scratch, for example, they're laid out in a different way. They often have a different color background. Those things are confusing for an early reader. But once you get past that hurdle, and that's the age group that we are targeting, but once you get past that hurdle, a great toy for young children is Little Bits, which is similar to Linkitz. It's a modular, you put it together, you can experiment with making different things. Lego has, of course, the Lego Mindstorms. That's a little, even a little bit older. There are a lot of different robot kits now where you can either assemble your own robot or buy a made robot and program it. Dash and Dot is an example from Wonder Workshop, or the Meccano robot from Spin Master is another one. So there are a lot of places for kids to go. Once you've sparked a girl's interest, I think the world is open to her. The question is getting that first push into it.
I love what you're doing. I think it's awesome, and I'm so happy for you guys that you did so well on your Kickstarter campaign. Where could people find more information about Linkitz?
Oh, on our website, Linkitz.com. That's Linkitz.com. We actually have a pre-order. So people can go there and sign up and see all the different components. Yes, our Kickstarter site, if you go back to Kickstarter, we still have a lot of information there. That's actually probably has the most information. It shows videos of it working, etc.
Thank you so much, Lyssa. I really appreciate you coming on the show and
my pleasure.
And sharing your product with us. And I want to thank you, our listeners, for signing in. If you want more information on this show or any other show, please visit us at hjmt.com. technewsnow.nyc is our website, and you could find out and learn more information about who we are there. Thank you again, Lyssa, and I hope you all have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Bye.